By the number.
This afternoon, we'll go behind the numbers and interrogate the delegates' voter dynamics in the just ended NPP presidential primary, which saw Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia elected as the NPP's flag bearer.
Also this afternoon, we introduced anti-LGBTQ bill and the motion for an inquiry into alleged gold board losses among key issues expected to dominate Parliament as it resumes.
A lot later, Volta North Regional Police Command clamps down on drug trafficking in the region as 4 suspects are arrested in possession of narcotics.
Those are the top stories. It's News Central here on TV3. I'm Kemini Amano.
And I am Mawina Egbeta. The bulletin starts right now.
In a resounding display of dominance, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia was declared the outright winner of the New Patriotic Party presidential primary, clinching the party's flag bearership for the 2028 elections with a sweeping victory in 14 of the country's 16 regions. The Electoral Commission released the final certified results late Saturday, following the primary, confirming that Dr. Bawumia secured 110,643 votes, about 56.48% of total valid vote cast by over 196,000. From the regional breakdowns, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia triumphed in key strongholds such as the Ashanti region, where he polled nearly 20,000 votes. Greater Accra, he polled about 19,800 votes. The Eastern, Western North, and Bono East regions, with approximately 69% in Bono East alone. In Ahafo, a clean sweep across all constituencies, Northern and Upper East, over 60%, despite a minor loss in a single constituency and several others. Now, in his victory speech, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia told supporters that it was time for the party to heal, unite, and prepare for the 2028 elections.
I say thank you to every contestant for participating in this race and for giving delegates an opportunity to make an informed choice. I say a special thank you to the members of Parliament who championed my bid, both in Parliament and in their various constituencies. I will never forget what you have done for me, and I will never forget you. The polls have ended, but our push for a stronger MPP has just begun. With Almighty God, we shall succeed. The journey to victory 2028 has just begun. We are in this together. We shall work together, and we will win together. We shall work together, and we will win together. As it is often said, after competition comes cooperation. And our expectation that all party members will apply themselves to this principle. It cannot be the case that one's support for the party is maintained only when those we support lead. I want to stand on this energy to make a passionate appeal to all members of the great MPP to let go of whatever reservations they have and come together. We need every idea, every voice, and every piece of advice to help us preserve and project a proud tradition bequeathed to us by our forebears.
Well, second in the race, Kennedy Ohene Ejapong, in his acceptance speech, pledged to work with the new flag bearer to advance the interests of the party going into the general elections of 2028.
I stand before you to pledge my support, also to accept the results declared by EC. The delegates have spoken, and I want to plead with my supporters that they should stay calm and respect the results and help all of us to work together to win 2029 or 2028 election. I want to advise my supporters. First, I want to thank you, but advise that in election, you can win and you can lose. So if you lose, you have to accept it in good faith. So let's all of us throw our support to Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, the flag bearer. And all I say is, MPP, we need unity in the party. But unity comes with respect. We have to respect each other's views. That is all I want to say tonight. So congratulations to Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia and MPP. Thank you.
That's Kennedy Ohene Ejapong from Saturday night when he delivered his concession speech as well. But we know that the race for who becomes flag bearer of the NPP has been settled. Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia has been selected to lead the NPP for election 2028. While the choice for who leads the tickets is well and truly settled, the choice for who partners Dr. Bawumia, the conversations around it have already kick-started. The strong showing of Brian Echampo has got tongues wagging, with some suggesting a partnership between the two. The two could prove a formidable force to wrestle power from the governing NDC. Well, fresh data from the outcome of the just-ended primary suggests such calls may not be premature. Let's get into the details of this data and exactly what it says. Ebenezer Nyako is with EN Analytics. He's joining us in studio right now for us to pour into this data and why perhaps some of these calls or the conversations are not premature. Exactly what are we looking at, and how does this relate to this linkage between Brian Echampo, Dr. Bawumia partnership come elections 2028?
Yeah, thank you. So since 2023, the NPP has gone through three major events. The 2023 presidential primaries, the 2024 general elections, and then last Saturday's
presidential
elections. Let's lay the foundation for 2023 election, the primaries. What happened? You see that Ken's support was in 4 key regions: Central, Volta, Greater Accra, and Western. These are the areas that Ken did very well. What this data point tells us is that Ken's support at that time were concentrated mainly in the swing regions and in opposition territory, that is Volta region.
Absolutely.
So the people in these swing regions where NPP has to win the national elections, they were looking for what? A fighter, and they saw that characteristic in Kennedy Japan. So now, let's move to the next slide.
So that's the 2024 elections and its outcome. That's what we're seeing in terms of the correlation.
So now we are linking the 2023 primaries with the 2024 presidential elections. Now, the two key numbers is the association between Bawumia and Mahama, as well as Bawumia, as well as Kennedy and Mahama. These are the key numbers. Now, between Bawumia and Mahama, it is negative association, 0.3. It's not too, we call it moderate. What this means is that in regions where Mahama did well in the general elections, Bawumia was not doing that well. That is why there is an inverse relationship between Bawumia and Mahama.
Right.
So Bawumia suffers in certain key regions, especially the swing regions. But between Kennedy and Mahama, it's positive. There's a positive association, which is also relatively moderate. It also tells you that in regions where Mahama was doing well in the general elections, we are seeing the same pattern with Ken, also doing relatively well in the primaries.
And this was from the 2023 primaries of the NPP.
As juxtaposed on the 2024 presidential election.
Now let's look at what this correlation looks like with the 2026 primary and then the 2024 general elections as well. And this is what we're seeing right now with Brian Achampong now in the picture.
Exactly. Now we are looking at the third row between Bawumia and Mahama. Bawumia still has that negative effect. So it's still negative.
Right.
So
in the areas where Mahama performs and in the strong...
So even with the current voting that went on, he still has that problem in the key swing regions and in opposition territory. Kennedy's influence has virtually diminished.
It's waned.
Exactly. So being positive correlated with Mahama, now he's negative. It means that his influence within those swing regions where he was strong has virtually evaporated. Now, the most important factor why we are here is this number, 0.64. And that is the association between Brian Achampong and Mahama. This is virtually between moderate and strong association. What this number tells us is that in regions where Mahama is doing well and the NDC is performing, Brian is also competitive in those regions. So now let's look at the regions where, when we compare Kennedy and Brian, which regions head to head?
Right. And that's it.
Exactly.
From just the primaries from Saturday, these are the numbers and the comparison as well.
Yes, so if you see where Brian won, in the 16 regions, Kennedy versus Brian, Kennedy won 8 regions. Brian won also 8 regions. Just between the two of them,
yes,
excluding Dr. Bawumia. But you look at where Brian won, and that is the key. He won in Volta, Oti, Upper East, Upper West, Savannah, Northern, Bono East, and he added his home region, making 8. So it tells you that in regions where the NDC won in 2024, Brian is very competitive. So he's telling the NPP, if you are looking for somebody who can be competitive in opposition's territory, I am the one.
Right.
If you are looking for a vice presidential candidate who can complement the deficit of Bawumia in the key swing regions, you don't have to look further.
You don't have to look further.
Exactly.
It means, and the conversation has come up very strongly that from the outcome of this weekend, he is the biggest winner, Brian Achampong, from the weekend's presidential primary, because his popularity has been laid bare without a doubt. And from this data that we're looking at right now, the argument is being put forth very strongly that he is the man who can perhaps go into the Volta, Oti, Upper East, Savannah, and the other regions and say, give us a chance and let's return to power come election 2028.
Exactly. Brian comes with a specific, unique characteristics. If you are looking for a technocrat,
he's there.
In Bawumia, I am a technocrat. If you are looking for a fighter in Kennedy, Japan,
he's there.
I am that. So I am the embodiment of these two characteristics. And Brian is telling people that, listen, I'm that person that you can have without, for example, the excesses of Kennedy.
Absolutely.
You get it? So he comes in as a fine blend between these two candidates. And that is why he's resonating very well with the base.
Let me pick your thoughts finally on what everything that we've seen, perhaps not zeroing on the data, what we've seen play out, what it says about the country's election architecture. Dr. Bawumia has been elected again to lead the face of the NPP come election 2028. Already there are conversations, it's an uphill task, and what have you. From where you sit on the data points, what can you tell us?
Dr. Bawumia is a very good candidate. We should all accept that. But Ghana has a certain specific electoral architecture. We give each party 8 years. And since the beginning of the Fourth Republic, that architecture hasn't changed.
Right.
And so if you are an opposition candidate, you have to go through the primaries 3 times before you win an election in Ghana. Look at J. Kufuor, 92, 96, 2000, before he became president. Look at Professor Mills, 2000, 2004, 2008, before he became president. Nanado, 2008, 2012, 2016. John Mahama, 2016, 2020, 2024. This is an arithmetic series. So if you start with Bawumia, 2024, 2028, 2032, he becomes president. That is the architecture of the Ghanaian electoral system.
Interesting. We'll see whether that plays out and whether or not that arithmetic would change, can change. And considering that the NDC will be offering a candidate fresh on their own, who will be served to its delegates for the very first time, and what the chances are, you'll be here with us and we'll continue to go through the numbers. But I appreciate you joining us this afternoon as well. But let's cross over now to my colleague, Noura Mohammed, who has been speaking to some supporters of the New Patriotic Party. She's asking them what they make of Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia's win and whether they have confidence in his ability to unite the party in defeating the NDC come election 2028.
On the 31st day of January 2026, the MPP went to the polls to elect a new flag bearer who would hopefully take them to their win in the 2028 national elections. Delegates queued across the country to elect amongst 5 candidates in the persons of Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, the erstwhile vice president of our country, Dr. Brian Echampon, Kennedy Ejapon, Dr. Yao Osei Edutrum, and Kwabna Ejay. Now, amongst these 5 candidates, 1 stood tall. The erstwhile vice president of our country, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, won with a staggering over 56.4% of the total delegates' votes cast. Now we're here at the Kwame Nkrumah Circle, and earlier, before the election, a colleague of mine, Christian Yale, made it here to the Kwame Nkrumah Circle to engage some of the fans, supporters, and delegates of the New Patriotic Party to decipher who they think could lead the party to a win come 2028. And they were torn between Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia and Kennedy Ejapon. Now we are here back at Circle to engage these same delegates, fans and supporters to get them to tell us if they believe and have confidence in Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, the current flag bearer and presidential candidate of the New Patriotic Party, if they are sure and confident that he can take the party, lead the party, and run against the yet-to-be chosen NDC presidential candidates come 2028. And so let's engage them and hear what they have to say. Agbereshi for MPP. So, in your opinion, do you think he's the right person to lead the party to victory come 2020?
Yes. Onoane obia obetimi ewini power amaye. Say ya to abanawi. Honorable Ken okra wakasa. Oso obi enye no Ken no vote. Yemfe nka bomumra. Eti Bawumia no me wo rehye say obetimi abade obi ka say ontimi ni president Ekufuado. Omo kan de chensa. sani ontimi ni president da enso nyame adom nti obedi president saa akonwa no obi ene wa wakọ ne ba akọ awawi ni etimi ye sure say the abey Bawumia obewi ni inshallah
we are sure say NDC almost candidates na almost debeba no we are sure say Bawumia betimi compete na
obetimi awini enti MPP ndi ehia ne nkabom ona abo no wakasa enti nkabom no so beba enti ebewi ni why
Bawumia de eden a ono na ebeto aba ma no wono na esi odi president of Ghana Kenya Japan we good obi anim no oman nim se ne wo ye betene kasa nye e wo oman nim ba bia open panyindie dia yen statika se fi e wo ya no en statin kaka se bia egu oman nanim ase no edi waye party a wo mu je o support party ni fine but unkuto kasa se de wato obi a wo party ni so nye unkuto na auto ye party ni delegate view cry yen so ye to aba youth ni yen so ye to aba. It's one of the ones who deserve for president crying in Ghana.
Do you think that Bawumia Betimia winning against NDC flag bearer Obeba 2028?
Yeah, Bibi Abetimesi Obeba Angasa, Yebetu Abamano Obeba.
Ontimi. Ontimi because of your vice. Yeah, who the omo yeah, omabo just say omabo gu ya party na man. MPP from penny for musuro Kennedy. Ntino oman to amano no Kennedy ye prempe or justice ntino oman to amano no Bawumia de obesan de akọ position biem because mo pa mark on the wall or the be position ontimi mfa ye nko anim biem
nti we sure say anka ye Kennedy a obetimi
yeah mo ntire enuma Bawumia biebie oni hwe ye wo mema adwuma obi betimi anya bia ye Kennedy na ye businessman no betima bie nyuma ma maburu anya adwuma ye na experience ni nyina oba odwa nanum degeta de na oba kan kire Ghana fo degeta na ode brey ontimi nya hwe me gura me nto aba because of Bawumia ntimi nto aba yeah me nto aba.
Are you happy about it? Do you think he's the best person to lead the party to the elections in 2028?
But yes odi 2028 yes about to Bawumia benya say said the oman kone enkoyi nti e pese Bawumia so ba no so ba kire ni dible no be ya oman no yie nti e pese Bawumia bantini a omotoma Bawumia se omla no oman to ama Kenya Japan no
nti we are sure say NDC omo candidates ba 2028 Bawumia betimi abitu na
but Bawumia be biti no first no asantefo no last year you know asantefo na anto abanti this year 2028 there asantefo ne mindful no beto ama Bawumia
has just won the MPP flag bearership. Do you think he's the right person to lead the party to victory?
Me are not so dada otiso nti ehu na adwuma nti asa kwa mode foforo no ba wi ansa Bawumia Bawumia de ba ya dem pa se ye beto aba ma no na sisi a wo hwe de a 1 year na mama ba ye no wo hwe de ne ma ekọ no a madam ne ma ne ya tete so ankasa.
Nti who do you think in your opinion could have led the party to victory?
Kennedy blane ni yaden Lawrence kraya to abama no ni Kennedy.
But the party has collectively voted and the party thinks that Bawumia won with over 56.4%. Isn't that evidence enough to show that the party won?
Yakasa Ghana fo nyina nto abanka Bawumia onya konya obu obenya konya sisi aniama ne de memeton ade aniama na abafom
said yes de I so ye no sa so na de wiaye Bawumia na MPP fo asade na ba no delegate fo de na ba no yedika momo ya we say Ghana for yem pe Bawumia and this delegate for ko discuss asade na ba so mo de na ba de me Adidas ma ko say me gina say krai me kan sem bebe yeah say ye nyina ya we say ento abama MPP biem because the year last way ye nyina ya nto and o masa akoye biem enti me kan say MPP for no mpanifo no mo discuss mo to abayi Bawumia ba say Bawumia de yem pen biem enya de a president ne ye beto abama ne biem.
Na say party for no Kennedy ne other contestants almost say candidates almost say when you're united you should come together and then support the chosen flag bearer. Inti adentia what they all say you not support.
Yabi omo kan ye Ghana atemam for ye say ampe no. Omo wi omo 8 years omo nko.
Away from that, Parliament will resume from recess tomorrow, February 3rd, to consider major national issues to deepen accountability and its oversight across sectors. The return of the Kwandai MP, Matthew Nyedam, and a new lawmaker for Ayawaso East will feature some of the highlights as the President delivers a sessional address on the state of the nation later. Passage of the 24-hour economy bill, the legal education reforms bill, and the likely reintroduction of the anti-LGBTQ bill will be prominent as well. I want to show you a bit more of what is likely to dominate discussions in Parliament over the next 3 months when they resume starting tomorrow. We've already talked about the anti-LGBTQ bill. Top of the bill will also be the return of the Kwandai MP. We expect to see the mineral royalties legislative instrument resume its countdown towards the 21 days to maturity. Ratification of mining lease agreements, including lithium, and passage of the 24-hour economy bill as well. A few other things to note. We expect to see the Minority Leader, Alexander Penyo-Makin, before Privileges Committee over ECOWAS Parliament delegation. It dominated the last days of the previous meeting when it was going into before recess. We expect it to also take center stage over the next 3 months, starting tomorrow. Motion for inquiry into gold losses and statement. MP's questions for ministers. Obviously, it's a new fiscal year. Christian Yale is a correspondent in Parliament. We'll hear from him what else to expect. Chris, you're going to have a really busy day, indeed busy days, starting from tomorrow. Tell us a bit more of what to expect in Parliament.
In fact, the first thing tomorrow, early in the morning, just around 8 a.m. would be a media engagement with leadership of Parliament. So you'd have both the majority and minority leaders come to brief the press corps on key issues that would happen during the sitting. And then later in the afternoon, around 12 p.m., the MPs would sit in the chamber. Obviously, there are going to be welcome addresses from the Speaker and from both leaders of the House. And as I speak, actually, there are ongoing preparations in the chamber, and so microphones are being tested and the necessary adjustments are also being made. But a lot happened over the period of recess that you would expect MPs to have their bite on. And the very latest happens to be the NPP presidential primary. Obviously, MPs from both sides would want to have their bite on it, to have their say on the way forward or the future of NPP, and even the NDC's own primary, which is expected to happen somewhere in 2027 at most. And so those are some of the things. But we know that several committees worked during the recess, and so their recommendations or their suggestions from those visits to the various places in line of their work are going to be programmed for the plenary. But I recall also that there were several statements by MPs that were not taken in the last sitting. And so for many of those statements which were not time bound, as well as new ones, would be admitted. And so you should expect the first meeting of the second session of the 9th Parliament to be very interesting one to watch. Also because the minority has already served notice that they are not going to allow their majority colleagues to rush the passage of critical legislations under certificate of urgency. Now, when they were asked about numbers and how effectively they are going to do that, the minority MPs indicated that they are not going to disclose their strategy. And so, as it were, and as always, this place, Parliament, is going to be an interesting space for you to watch, and also because a lot is going to happen that we have not even listed, or ones that we cannot immediately project or forecast.
Thank you very much, Christian Yale, with that report. We'll keep an eye on Parliament for you. We'll now take a quick break. When we come back, let's take you across the regions. Don't go away.
Now, this afternoon, the Ministry of Education has signaled its intent to support the Ghana Armed Forces Education Corps in establishing a senior high school in honor of the former Defense Minister, Dr. Edward Omane-Boamah, speaking at the 60th anniversary celebration of the 2 Garrison Education Unit at the Air Force Base in Takoradi. The technical advisor to the Minister of Education, Professor George Kweku Oduro, emphasized that the theme, 60 years of holistic education, bridging gaps, building futures, aligns closely with government's agenda to provide quality education for all. Irama Smith has more.
The 2 Garrison Education Unit, established 60 years ago, has been a beacon of learning, fostering academic excellence and character development for basic education learners within the Sekondi Takoradi metro area. Speaking at the unit's 60th anniversary dinner, the officer in charge, Lieutenant Colonel Xavier Hadaja, appealed to government and educational stakeholders to support the development of garrison schools. He noted that the unit has already begun establishing 5 STEM centers across its school clusters and also called for the establishment of a senior high school for the 2 Garrison Education Unit.
As an institution that prides itself in innovation, we have started building 5 STEM centers in our clusters to give our learners the platform to unearth their talents and also build on STEM. This will need you, ladies and gentlemen. At Mayon and Beach Road clusters, we need your assistance with 2 STEM centers and libraries. Honorable Chair, above all these is the overarching need for a Ghana Armed Forces Senior High Secondary School.
The technical advisor to the Minister of Education, Professor George Kweku Oduro, who spoke on behalf of the sector minister, commended the 2 Garrison Education Units for excelling in spite of the limited resources and complex educational demands. He hinted of plans to support the Ghana Armed Forces Education Corps to establish a senior high school in remembrance of the former Defense Minister, Dr. Edward Omane-Boamah.
The Honorable Minister also acknowledges that the 2 Garrison Education Center operates only basic education, that operates at the level of basic education. In this light, the Honorable Minister has asked me to inform you that in honor of the late former Minister of Defense, Dr. Omane-Boamah's legacy inspires our work as a ministry. So the minister is committed to ensuring that the Ministry of Education, again emphasized, partners the Garrison Education Unit to construct a block for senior high school.
Irama Smith, TV3 News, Takoradi.
Pupils of Bolshoi EA Model KG can now sit and write with comfort following the provision of child-friendly furniture. Learning for the children once came with discomfort and risk as desks were too high for them. School authorities say the new furniture will help promote teaching and learning and improve learning outcomes in the school. Well, Christopher Amwako is our correspondent with the rest of the story. Chris, talk to us about the situation prior to now.
At the northern region, over 300,000 deficits when it comes to the furniture situation in schools. Most schools, which are also under trees, the children have to sit or write on the floor, which is hampering education outcomes. And so stakeholders over the years have tried to support and intervene in this regard because they believe that government cannot do it alone. And so supporting, providing education infrastructure like furniture has become necessary to improving education outcomes. Let's take a listen to how challenging the situation is for some schools in the northern parts of the country.
Very well. Let's take a listen to that now.
Before this donation, the children was learning without chairs and table. That make teaching and learning very difficult. The community or the headmistress and then the staff reach out to us that it's making, in absence of the chairs, decent chairs and then tables, it's making learning and teaching itself very difficult for them. So therefore, we should come and help them. As you see the school environment, the needs always come, and we will try our best to address the need one after the other. One of the major issues that they say they need some screen for the children. You can see the inside classroom, they have fun, they have decent environment to enhance their learning. With this support, is going to at least the children, when they ask them to go to school, they will be more than happy to come here to learn.
Very well, Chris. What is the extent of the intervention so far?
Yes, so the schools that have received some interventions are doing very well because these children are able to sit on tables and chairs to write. Now, if you go to these schools that have this furniture, enrollment has been enhanced and teaching and learning has also been improved. But other schools still remain unattended to and also waiting to get this support so that they will also be able to deal with the furniture gap in these schools. Let's take a listen to a headmistress who has been sharing her concerns on this furniture deficit.
Actually, the furniture we had were a bit higher than them, which was difficult for them during teaching and learning. When it was time for them to write, it was a difficult task for both teachers and learners. They needed to lie on their stomachs. Some of them, when they sit on the furniture, which is a bit higher than them, they sometimes fall off from the furniture, which disrupt teaching and learning. Actually, it was not helping us. So this new furniture here will help promote teaching and learning and also promote learning outcomes in the schools. We still have challenges in the school. That is, the cleaning of the school is a bit difficult for teachers here because the children are smaller. They cannot clean by themselves. So it's very difficult. Sometimes we have to come and clean before we enter classes, and it's disrupting lessons. It's also not encouraging us as teachers.
Well, Christopher, away from the story, we know over 173 female students of Tolon Senior High School have been displaced by Monday morning's fire incident. 10 of the girls, we understand, were shocked by the incident and as a result were rushed to the Tolon Hospital for medical attention. Now the students say they are traumatized by the incident. Christopher, what else can you report about this incident right now?
Yes, so Kemini, I must admit that the fire situation has really traumatized the female students of the Tolon Senior High School. When we visited the school, most of the girls were counting their losses after the fire incident. As we speak, 127 of them who have been severely affected have been asked to go home for a period of 1 week to, first of all, relieve the psychological trauma that they've been through. The second is for the school to also put in place measures to be able to accommodate them by the time that they return to school. Now, Get Fund has, in the interim, also assessed the situation because the deputy administrator Al-Hassan Dandawa was in Tolon this morning because he had visited the Northern School of Business where 2 weeks ago a fire incident also happened. So he's giving the assurances that Get Fund is going to step in immediately to ensure that they put the place introduced for the students to return and benefit from it. This undoubtedly, Kemini, is going to affect academic work because for the period that these affected students will be home, it means that teaching and learning will not be that serious in that school. The northern region is beginning to register some series of fires in the senior high schools. 2 years ago, the same Tolon Senior High School, there was a fire incident. Karaga Senior High School, a fire incident. 2 weeks ago, Northern School of Business, and today, Tolon Senior High School. And so it's become a matter of concern for stakeholders.
Do we know yet what caused this fire?
Yes, so as we speak now, the fire service has not told us what the cause is, but they suspect electrical fault on campus. So they are not too sure, but that is what they suspect for now. They are still conducting their investigations. When they are done, they will give us the briefing.
What is the condition of the 10 who were taken to the hospital?
Yes, Kamini, they are stable now, according to school management. They even returned to school campus and they are under observation. So that afterwards, they are part of the 127 students who have been asked to go home for the meantime. And so it is very severe. It has affected these children. In fact, the dormitory has been totally raised down. Most of the students did not even get a pin to pick from the dormitory.
Very well. Christopher, we'll leave it here. I appreciate the report. And Christopher Mwako is our Northern Region correspondent.
Let's take you to the Volta region now, because the Volta North Regional Police Command, in an exercise to clamp down on drug trafficking in the region, has arrested 4 suspects in possession of narcotics. The arrest was done during 2 separate operations. The first happened when the police intercepted 2 vehicles heading towards Kpando on Thursday, January 29. The drivers, Achireme George, aged 43, and Benjamin Akpado, aged 23, attempted to flee into a nearby bush after spotting a patrol team, but were arrested after a hot pursuit. A search of the vehicle revealed 20 sacks containing 680 parcels of dried leaves suspected to be Indian hemp. The suspects are currently in police custody assisting investigations, while efforts are underway to track down other persons linked to the consignment. For the second operation, it took place in the early hours of Friday the 30th, when the police, acting on intelligence, stopped a Toyota minibus with registration number GT659219 at Podome. The vehicle, driven by Etonam Vumaji with Emmanuel Komlaga on board, was headed towards Togo. A search uncovered 18 sacks containing 648 yellow oval parcels of substances suspected to be narcotics. The police say during the operation, a man identified only as Joseph allegedly contacted officers and attempted to bribe them with 150,000 cedis. Let's get a bit more from the PRO of the Volta North Regional Police Command, Felix Kwao, is joined us via the phone. Thankfully, we can speak to him. Good afternoon to you, sir, and I appreciate you joining us. Is this something that happens very frequently, this attempts to smuggle drugs in and out of the region? And what more details do you have for us about this bust?
Good afternoon. And good afternoon to your cherished viewers. This I can confirm to you that there has been a major arrest of suspects in 2. This came as a result of an intelligence-led operation, the Police Intelligence Unit, as part of the police mandate to crack down the drug trafficking within the region. So on Friday and Saturday, we conducted search operations, and then we arrested 4 suspects. So one of the operations, which was...
Inspector Kwao, are you still with us?
Yes, I'll go with you. One of the operations which led to two suspects were actually trafficking from one of the towns to Togo. And then during our surveillance, we managed to intercept the car. So a search conducted in the car revealed 20 sacks, 20 sacks of 20 sacks found in the car. So upon opening the sacks, we found out 680 pieces of yellow parcel items. And then we actually sent it to the forensic lab for examination and analysis. But currently, suspects are under police custody assisting investigation. One of the issues that also happened was that whilst we tried to allow the suspects to make contact with their relatives to speak and know their parents' location and the development, the suspects rather tried to bribe the police with 150,000 Ghana cedis. Meanwhile, one of the suspects in the custody also attempted to bribe the police with 32,000 Ghana cedis.
And all of this was rejected. So for you in the region, this is a war on these drug traffickers, and it's one you're aiming to win.
Please come again.
I'm saying that for you in the region as the police, you're seeking to clamp down efficiently on these drug traffickers.
Yes, that is one thing that we try to do, especially this particular year, because we have observed that the activity in the region has become too much. So we have to break it down.
What has happened to the parcels? What has happened to the parcels of drug you confiscated? Is that going to the Narcotics Control Commission for onward destruction?
Yes, I earlier on said that we have sent it to the forensic laboratory for examination and analysis. So when the results come back, we shall forward it to the narcotics unit for further actions.
Right then, Inspector Kwao, we'll leave it here, but I appreciate you speaking to us. That's Inspector Felix Kwao, is the PRO of the Volta North Regional Police Command. We'll take us on to another break. When we return, we'll take the show home. Stay with us. that's our bulletin for you this afternoon, which came to you from our studios here on the John Hammond Street.
Welcome back.
Thank you very much, Kimberly.
Just know that every good turn deserves
Most definitely, and I have got you. I have absolutely got you.
I hear
That's
you.
my assurance too.
I hear you. Nobody understands what we are talking about, but we get it.
We get it.
We'll see you same time tomorrow. Bye-bye.